Ladies and gentlemen, this congressional document is one of the reasons that Biden's AUTOPEN pardons could easily be, will likely be, overturned by the Supreme Court and lead to indictment, potential prosecution, and conviction, potentially, of Liz Cheney for, according to this report, if you scroll down to page 51, and this is an interim report on the failures of the January committee, prepared at the direction of Chairman Barry Loudermilk, 118th Congress. Go to page 51. This relates directly to the AUTOPEN pardon of Liz Cheney. You'll see that actual pardon in a second. The evidence, and you can scroll down right here, the evidence is overwhelming that the Select Committee violated House rules, deleted documents in the final days of the 117th Congress. Deleted documents. That is a felony. It's a felony for them to delete either classified documents, evidence of any kind, especially exculpatory evidence. Deleted documents in the final days of the 117th Congress and had a premeditated partisan outcome it was committed to convey. Regardless of the facts, the Select Committee's blatant disregard for the truth and Hutchinson's false statements accepted by the Select Committee as fact erode all credibility of the Select Committee's final report. And then you have letters, all the evidence presented by Chairman Loudermilk and Republicans who prepared this report. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Why is this important? Because Biden's AUTOPEN signature appears on almost every document he signed. Why is that a problem? Well, you'll hear George Clooney, or you'll hear discussion of his op-ed months back, helping force Biden out because of potential physical, cognitive, possibly even emotional, but mainly potentially cognitive issues, forcing out the most popular candidate of all time. This is the AUTOPEN for all the Bidens that he pardoned. This is the AUTOPEN for, was it Falsey? No, members, Select Committee. So this is the Select Committee AUTOPEN signature. And this is Falsey's signature, all almost certainly AUTOPEN. Okay, now if you have evidence that Representative Loudermilk discovered that Liz Cheney and others deleted and destroyed evidence, okay, and be here for the live stream later this evening. We talked about this yesterday on the live streams. If you have evidence that people committed crimes, so I showed you the congressional report that crimes were almost certainly committed. Okay? If you have evidence that crimes were committed and that documents were deleted, number one, if you have a preemptive pardon, so before Liz Cheney was convicted of a crime indicted or charged with a crime, she was preemptively pardoned, just like Hunter and Falsey and a whole bunch of people, preemptively pardoned. That's never happened before. We've also never had a president forced out of a presidential contest because of potential cognitive issues. That's never happened before. AUTOPEN pardons have happened before, but not in this context. President Obama AUTOPENed a number of pardons. The problem is the AUTOPEN was likely used because even George Clooney and others wanted Biden out. Here's a trip down memory lane. Hit subscribe if you're new. If you want to give a super thanks, that's below.
As we continue to hear from more prominent Democrats and donors that it's time for Joe Biden to step aside and have somebody else step up. Hillary Vaughn has been talking to Democrats on Capitol Hill in the wake of George Clooney saying, "We need a new nominee." He said it's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe Big Effing Deal Biden of 2010. Here's more reaction from Democrats on the Hill.
You about George Clooney calling for President Biden to drop out of the race?
I don't have anything to saying about it. Yeah. And we have a meeting too. I'm sorry.
Do you have any concerns about the president's mental acuity?
I'm sorry, we have a meeting. I know.
Congressman Goldman, George Clooney is calling for President Biden to drop out of the race. He does not think that Democrats can win with him on the ticket. He also expressed major concerns about his mental fitness. What is your reaction to that?
I appreciate hearing Mr. Clooney's opinion, and we'll continue to deal with this within our Democratic family to make sure that we beat Donald Trump and protect democracy in the future.
Do you think people close to President Biden are being honest about his mental state?
Put so many of these Democrats in a tough spot, John. I mean, Clooney's saying emphatically in this note, we are not going to win in November with this president. On top of that, we won't win the House. And
mind you, every conservative, every Republican, President Trump included, everybody watching, even Democrats, were looking 4 years ago saying, okay, he's slurring his speech. Then people said, oh, he's the most popular candidate of all time. Literally, Biden was the most popular candidate of all time in 2020. Less than 4 years later, George Clooney, the entire Democratic Party, forces him out of contention. Okay. They were worried about potential cognitive issues because everyone saw that he was one fry short of a Happy Meal when he debated President Trump. It took one nationally televised debate, and you still had pundits lying through their teeth for years saying, oh, actually, it's Trump with the cognitive issues, not Biden. Well, then Hollywood and the Democratic Party itself forced Biden out because of those same cognitive issues that everyone on the planet was talking about for the past 4 years, that Democrats and Biden's administration lied about, just like they lied about Hunter's laptop and everything else. That's why all these people got preemptive pardons. Number one, the preemptive pardon, there's nothing about a preemptive pardon in the Constitution. It's never happened before because Democrats know that everyone preemptively pardoned committed crimes. Number two, the AUTOPEN issue is an issue because of the cognitive decline that George Clooney, Hollywood, Democrats, and the donors decided was such a crucial topic that Biden needed to be forced out. Let's continue.
And we're going to lose the Senate. There's an admission in this statement from Clooney saying that he wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020 at that event 3 weeks ago. He was the same man we all witnessed at that debate. Well, he's saying that now. Where was he then? Where was he 3 weeks ago when he saw it?
I'm wondering what was he waiting for, or even a week later when the debate happened. Why did he wait until now to do it? Is he looking at sort of the lay of the land and saying, oh, a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon. Let me get back out in front and lead the charge on this. I mean, why didn't he lead the charge 3 weeks ago to say, I just raised $30 million for this guy, but I was profoundly concerned about what's happened to him in the last 4 years.
And you got to think Clooney's talking to a lot of prominent Democrats and donors every single day. And in this statement, he says, this isn't only my opinion. This is the opinion of every senator and Congress member and governor that I've spoken with in private. Every single one, irrespective of what he or she is saying publicly, John. And that is what everybody assumes, but we just aren't hearing it straight from their mouths. Closest we're getting to one of the most prominent Democrats, of course, is Nancy Pelosi in that new interview.
Again, it's the same principle. You have enough energy to create a chain reaction, and suddenly the Biden campaign might explode.
So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where it's always a conspiracy theory until Democrats, or it's almost always conspiratorial until Democrats admit that they've been lying through their teeth for years. Then it's, oh my God, we have to go with Harris because Biden, although he was the most popular candidate of all time, has possible cognitive issues. The issue, the discussion or the argument is that the AUTOPENs were signing pardons that he was not aware of. That's the big issue. That's the big argument. And the Supreme Court, I think, will side with President Trump. I think Liz Cheney could easily be indicted and prosecuted, very likely convicted for destroying records. Hit subscribe. Thank you. Be here for the live stream later. Thank you.